these teams are trying to bring it down just full-on chaos.
So first time that we're potentially going to see Hanamura, and the second time that we're going to see Eichenwald here. So that's really interesting, and I love to see just a little bit more about it. I mean, we learned a little bit about this game, just the idea that the first two stages of this map seem to be manageable. The final stage, once you get inside the castle, incredibly hard to break through when you're on the offensive side. Let's get into it. It's Fnatic and NRG. So welcome to the show here. This is Overwatch Open right here at E-League.
And so already trying to get a read on what the teams are trying to line up against each other. And right now on the defense, Fnatic have gone for 3 tanks with the Ana backing them. And Roadhog definitely going to count as some damage, but IDDQD is going to be playing the McCree. And already you can see Seagull, no questions asked, going straight for the Mei and already hitting Icicles. This guy's a monster. His aim unparalleled.
Look at that ice wall, not just getting himself up there, but a couple of teammates too. That's a very interesting move. And you have to appreciate the offensive Mei, just not even using it defensively, but just trying to see if they can get in here and get a move on. They need to cap that first point to get the payload rolling, and now they're going to be charging in. Seagull doing a fairly good job, still staying alive, and about halfway to the ultimate. It's going to be Milo going down first, and that's Vods taking him out. And now that looks like NRG are going to be falling back a little bit.
Yeah, going for the reset, and it seems like they don't want to go wasting that nano boost anytime soon. They just want to go ahead, try and get the best conditions possible to push out, and also hope for Fnatic to be a little bit low. But Fnatic, with the repel there, they come out ahead as far as percentages on those ults. So this is going to be a little bit tricky here for NRG. It's going to come down to basically when they decide to use this nano boost and the coordination behind it. And who got it?
Used it just yet there. Vods is going to get an assist in on that kill. Gods is going to be going down to Stoop, and then Dummy and Enigma following up. A big ice wall in the middle of everything. A nice Earth Shatter coming out. Can Stoop actually follow up on it? He's dropping low on health. He's going to get knocked out by Milo. And now they're capping the point back here. NRG, a terrific push being put in right now. That is going to be just near perfect.
So tough to say sometimes. It just seems like it's touch and go. Both teams burning ults, and then Reinhardt swinging hammers all over the place. Just chaos on the point. But you're right, NRG, they managed to come out ahead. Milo with a sick Earth Shatter that really turned the tide. Well, no, never mind. That was Stoop who actually got the Earth Shatter. Yeah, but
Gods, I think Gods definitely got a good ult in along the way, and that's going to help out a lot capping that first point there. They took not that much time doing it. I feel like they're going to be in a fine position here. They got 4 minutes and 30 seconds trying to see if they could push on. And now you can see Fnatic taking the high ground here. And this time we don't have a Pharah in play to get all the way up on the high ground here.
True.
So curious to see if they can get IDDQD out of this tower.
Yeah, he's just waiting for the right time. He does have the Deadeye, and he doesn't want to let it go to waste. So he's waiting for the ghost call from his teammates, and there it is. And he's only going to spot one, and not even that. Totally wasted. He might be able to make up for it, though. And yes, guns down, Dummy takes out the enemy team Ana, and that's certainly going to help things here, countering this push.
Beauty's still alive back here, just being allowed uninterrupted to shoot for a long time. He's down to 4 health, and no, it's not going to win that fight. That would have been interesting. Gods was 1 shot away from death as well, so if he'd hit that, it would have been just fine. Vods taking down Enigma in the meantime. So NRG, they're being reset and slowed down for a moment, but I think it's acceptable if you look at the ults they've got up here. They have Milo, they have Gods, they have Dummy as well. So they could go nano boost pretty much whoever they want. It could be Milo or Gods, whatever they prefer. Gotta think, given the current metagame and the current state of it, probably would be Reaper, but this is a much more open map than we saw, for instance, Hollywood. So maybe that nano boost is gonna be harder to hit.
Yeah, and see if he can get into the choke points. That bridge going into the second point, if he can catch him out there, we'll see. Straight run and gun from him for now, and there we go. Delayed, only to fall to his death. Gods. All right, he still takes 2 with him, but still maybe getting used to that map architecture. He just goes right off the edge of the bridge.
I mean, that is some interesting play that we haven't really seen before. Sleep gonna be put in there, and Seagull gonna be out of it. Vods, who we saw yesterday, was a monster with the Reaper. His aim, tracking aim, is so good. Just seems to almost miss no shots at all. He's on top here with a Death Blossom of his own. And Milo has a counter if they need it, but with the ult as well coming in, this is going to be really tough. Trying to see if they can get over the edge. They're still staying alive. No one dropping in. Milo going to eventually fall. So that was Reinhardt versus Reinhardt. And Stoop coming out on top of this one. All keeping on to the ults. Again, I appreciate this from Vods. Him and Vonatil right now both have their ultimate, so they can keep NRG back.
And Custa 10%, 9% away from getting the nano boost. And so we've seen Fnatic all of yesterday basically use this combo to great success. You get that boost onto Vods, and he's so good at positioning that he manages to get into a spot to do damage with it. IDDQD right now going to work, gonna shut down Enigma. Vonathil actually gonna find the kill there. But still, solid defense so far from Fnatic. That's gonna delay things. Without that Zarya, you can't really get the Wombo combo or the bubbles there to protect your mates.
Vods, he's waiting for them to drop down. They actually have the high ground advantage right now. NRG, this is some really weird stuff. Fnatic being the trolls underneath the bridge is just waiting for NRG to come down to fight them. Seagull coming in, and that's going to be the Blizzard coming up. Vods using that ultimate, but the sound barrier from the other team buying a lot of time, but it won't be enough. He's going to get the kill. Custer to help out, and now the shot comes out. He's going to get one more kill, looking for the triple, and getting a little bit of help from Stoop there. They are going to be able to clean up NRG, and Coolmat's on his way to his ult, and Vods, even though he used his, halfway there still. So even if Enigma, the problem is Enigma and Milo have their 2 ultimates, but they don't have anything to follow it up on. I mean, Gods is close to his, but they sort of need the damage behind the crowd control.
Yeah, and Seagull, I mean, despite his best efforts there with the Blizzard, and he's getting chased out. Nice shots from Vods. That's going to buy a little bit of time. More importantly, it's going to give energy to both healers. So feeding into those ults once again, but in the meantime, I mean, Fnatic kind of letting them pull a fast one. Milo managing to sneak that payload a little bit further, and now that sets it up for the next fight. God's going for the Death Blossom, and he's just, I mean, this is all over the place, but it does look like NRG are coming out ahead. Enigma with the double kill, that pretty much ends it.
Finally something working for NRG, and Seagull swapping out of Mei and into the Genji, and they actually did it before this fight even started, so that's also pretty cool. Some good communication from NRG. I think they feel like they were starting to just sort of run into a brick wall at the end there, and obviously making the hero swaps is a big part of that. I really love this stage. This is brutal, isn't it?
Okay then. They really want to get into this old castle, and not a door will stand in their place. Let's go.
It feels like they need to make this push work, because once they get through, we'll see how it's going to go. You could definitely be locked in after a while. Seagull trying to see if he can find the opening. He's just a few % wet from the Dragon Blade. Vods waiting on the side here. He's got Coolmat there to help him out, so they could set up for a really big combination, and actually not much of a chance to stop it on the other side there. The wall's going to be going down, and he's charging in. Vods, there's no sound barrier on the NRG team. They're going to get completely shreked here. It's a triple for Vods, making it a quad. Seagull trying to stay alive and fight, but just no chance at all. And this is the problem. Once they push through, the doors go down behind. Now, instead of having 3 big openings, they just have 2 choke points here, and it's going to be tricky. I feel like you need to make this push work the first time in.
Yeah, really just try and make some headway, right? Because now you're going through these 3 choke points, and it's so tough, especially when you have, I mean, Coolmat can basically spam into one of those, and so you really don't want to be going through those type passages when grenades are raining around you. And then Vods is there point blank with the shotty, so this is going to be tough. NRG, though, trying to pull a fast one. They are going to get up onto the high ground, but once again, big ulti time just coming in and massive damage being dealt.
That Blizzard freezing pretty much the whole team. That's incredible. Coolmat here going to go as well for the Junkrat, and he's doing so much damage with these grenades. Eventually gets shut down. Gods in charge of taking that kill, and now they're going to be pushing through here on the point. IDDQD just trying to stay alive on the Mei, but that's not going to be a possibility any longer. Not only do they get it, they retain the ultimate advantage. Not just a little bit, a lot in fact. This is going to be really tough now for Fnatic to hold on to, but the time is running out right now. In fact, we're in overtime. The Riptire up on the high ground for Coolmat. He's running it into the wall to buy time, and now going to be jumping down. It didn't get any kills with it. Milo has gone down, and now a big ult coming up from Zarya there in backline, doing even more damage. He's got 90% chance, but he's being frozen, and Vods coming through with a triple kill. Fnatic, they're going to be able to hold it. What an incredible defense being put up. And that's going to be the end of NRG's push here in the first round.
Unbelievable. IDDQD gets a lot of attention, but Vods on this Reaper is nuts. He just keeps coming up with results. Every time he gets that Death Blossom, he's picking up 2 kills, at least it feels, and then he just goes to work with the regular run and gun. Such a monster. And, well, Fnatic, yeah, they stop NRG from getting onto that 3rd point. That's going to make a big difference now that they're going to change sides. And so if Fnatic are feeling confident on the map, things could get hairy here for NRG.
Look, the ice wall they put up to actually get up onto the high ground inside the castle, that is incredibly creative play. That's a very, very smart style from NRG. The only problem is they did actually put the whole team up there. I sort of wish it would have been 4 of them, and the other 2 could have come in to flank the attack that was going, you know, so just to spread up the team a little bit, or at least segment it a little bit, so they're not everyone, because they were all in that blizzard, and that was a really big problem for them. But
that's the architecture of the 3rd point feeds into that. That's where May really gets to shine. Not only are you getting the walls to really just block off large chunks of the map there, but the blizzard, it just goes everywhere. There's no escape. Where do you go?
I'm almost at the point where I'm thinking maybe the thing to do is when you knock down the sort of the gate in the beginning and the wall hasn't, or the gate hasn't come down again, maybe you just wait until you have all of your ults and then you make one big push to fight it. Because once you fail that fight and you're in on the other side, you push the cart through, then that's it. You're limited in your options basically.
Oh, let's see what the choices are here for Fnatic. Now that they're going on the offense. Interesting. Well, I mean, IDDQD, no surprise to see him go for the Tracer. He's a sick Tracer, monster aim with the tracking. I mean, he's so good. So we'll see if he can be able to actually get some damage. That combo Tracer Reaper, there's going to be a lot of burst. And on NRG's side, no surprise. Seagull, well, I mean, he goes offensive May, he goes defensive May, he just plays May. May's May.
Yeah, but they're playing 4-2 on the NRG side, whereas it's 2-2-2 on Fnatic, right? So some quite different compositions here. We'll see if Fnatic are going to have enough DPS between Vods and IDQD to chew through all of this HP, maybe especially with Dummy and Pooks there healing in the backlines. We'll see how well they're going to do on the support here. Is going to be crucial, I reckon. IDQD charging in here, trying to pick up the enemy Lucio in the backlines. That's a very smart play, but not quite going to be able to get it. NRG actually reacting fairly quickly to that kind of aggression here. They're just all grouping up, and now they've lost one of them. Pooks going to be going down there, trading Lucios. Stoop dying next. The Gods picking up 2 big kills, and that's on that Roadhog.
What sick play from IDDQD. He's almost single-handedly just completely eviscerating the defense here. And this is all just from him staying alive. He's getting kills, and that's bonus. That's excellent. But him staying alive just pulls that NRG defense back onto the point. It gives his teammates more room to work with. And wow, he's a monster. You can't stop this guy. Look at it. He just keeps going.
That is unbelievable. They actually did, I think they did a good job, NRG, initially realizing, and not just the supports being left alone, they did draw everyone back. And you're right, he stayed alive and just kept getting the kills. And, you know, the rest of the Fnatic team on the other side following up. Yes. So they couldn't put all of their effort into IDDQD anyway. They had to sort of fight at 2 different fronts.
And that's what I mean by him staying alive, right? Kills, that's bonus. It's the fact that he's there as a constant threat. He didn't just get over-aggressive and throw away that advantage. No, him just staying alive forces NRG to deal with him. And that opens up this 2nd point now, or rather, the way to the 2nd point here for Fnatic. So we have to see high ground occupied now by NRG.
And look at this, NRG saying, look, that Tracer's so annoying, we need a flashbang on Gods there to take care of business. So they are adjusting to the pressure, and that's definitely good to see. We'll see if it's going to pay off or not. Seagull going to be jumping in as well, putting up a wall right on top of everyone. He's almost got his charges inside the ice block. When he comes out, he's got the Blizzard ready. They're waiting for him, and he's not going to get a chance. Comes out and gets exploded.
You have to give it to Kusto there. He hits the grenade on Milo, and that's what wrecks everything. When you can't, like, yes, okay, nano boost, sick. You do more damage, you're harder to kill. You've got the armor on the Reinhardt as well. But if you can't just pump healing into you either, then you will get blown up. Everybody's going to focus you down, and that's what happened with Fnatic. Sick plays. And so now, well, look at this. Fnatic, I mean, NRG might be able to put up another fight, but Cool Matt, he's not letting him set up. He's actually applying the pressure here.
Yeah, and Vods teleporting or using the Ghost Walk to get up there already is definitely going to be very, very important. Shadow Step, I believe it's called. Trying to see if he can maybe put some pressure on them. You see how difficult it was for them to get out. The enemy Reinhardt caught with the shield, looking behind him instead of walking out to actually push them back. And Vods still going at it, going to take the fight and takes down Enigma too. Absolutely brilliant play. I think.
And restraint from Vods. You see there? Where he's just like, I've got my ultimate. You think you're going to back out through this door? No, I'm going to get on the other side of it. And then, well, he's like, oh, well, my team just killed everybody, so it's all good. I still have it for the next fight.
Let's see if Fnatic can make the push through the first time in here. They're already fighting on the other side. That's actually very smart. They're not allowing NRG to set up for it. Now they just need to push all the way through and not get wiped here. But the ice wall comes up right behind. Really great zoning mechanic coming out of Seagull. And now Vods pushing through on the other side, trying to see if he can make it in. Fnatic, they need to do this, but you see the ice wall. Vods coming through. Hey, oh, he's almost going to get it. There's the triple kill, and turning it into a little bit more. IDDQD helping out, and Costa going down. This is just such a lot of damage. It almost locked Vods out of that fight, but once he made his way through, it worked out just fine.
And this is looking fantastic for Fnatic. Look at this. They actually have
a little bit of damage coming out. Cool Matt there. Just trying to get the grenades on in. IDDQD has his ultimate up. Cool Matt nowhere near his. In fact, nobody outside of IDDQD is going to be able to get it. There's 4 minutes though, Sam. Now think about the time that's left here for them to build all of this. And it's not like NRG have that much more. They do have the Blizzard and Seagull just come online.
There's the Blizzard, and you see the just massive AoE. It's kind of forcing Fnatic to fall back or commit on the high ground, and IDDQD trying to find an angle to work with there, but Seagull in the meantime is taking out Stoop. Still manages to trade versus Dummy, and he's still got the nade. There we go. Big boom, and Milo is down.
Really good double kill, looking for a bit more. The sound barrier does come out defensively for NRG, and now topped on the Saria ultimate, should be able to do just a little bit more, but where's the damage follow-up? Gods is out of it, and that's when the Kree gone. That's a big part of the DPS coming in from NRG. Not going to be happening any longer. Seagull trying to fight, but they're all around him. He has to put up the defensive barrier just to try and stay alive here. Fnatic still swarming onto that cart. And Vods with the ultimate up. They are going to play just a little bit defensively in the middle of this. They don't want to throw too much away here. That also gives some breathing space to NRG, though.
Actually, yes. And well, this does allow for a bit of a soft reset, but Fnatic are back into this fight fairly quickly. Still able to find the initiate, and Vods, you can see, waiting on the Death Blossom. They managed to bait out the Blizzard. It catches nobody, and that should be perfectly fine with this Fnatic. They still have all of their ults, 5 ults ready to go.
Yeah, and there it is. Nano Boost coming in, trying to see if they can make it work. Vods looking for the one. It's going to be IDDQ to pick up the last hits on that one. And Stoop too. There's so much damage being output here by the Fnatic team. They wipe NRG, and that is going to be it. They make it past one last stand for NRG, and it wasn't enough. And you saw Gods even swapped out of the McCree and actually went on the D.Va just to have enough HP on the point at the end there. They were just trying to stall for time. It definitely wasn't enough. So big win for Fnatic here on the first map.
It just seems, the feeling that you get after that match, that Fnatic right now, they're a bit more composed, right? They manage their ults better. They take their fights. They were patient there at the end, not trying to rush. They're like, yeah, we have plenty of time on the clock. We can still set up with the ults. We can still take our time. They bait out the ults, and that's where you get that kind of feeling. It's like a subjective feeling, right? But you feel like, you know, Seagull pulls the trigger really early on that Blizzard, right? Throws it out. Fnatic, they're like, great, now we have the door open. There's no more AoE. We can just walk right in. And that's exactly what they did. Excellent ult usage on Fnatic's side.
Well, this is a best of 5, so there is plenty more to come. Fnatic winning the first one. There's much more to come. So just wait for us. We'll be right back after a quick break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here, joined by CP. So this is going to be very interesting. I look forward to this. CP, you know a little bit about Overwatch, and we just saw the first map here in the best of 5. Tell me something about this. Like, what did you learn? Iconval's still very new, so so what do you think?
Iconval, it is very new, and I think teams are still figuring out the best way of playing it. I will say that when you look at Vods and his Reaper positioning, it really plays to his strengths because Iconval is full of places to hide, places to catch people off guard. It's a playground. You can come from above, you can come from the side. It's great. What else is great on that map? You saw IDDQD for a time switching off to the Mei. He started on McCree, went to the Mei, and was able to use the corridors to his advantage and landing good ice walls. Really good stuff coming out from Fnatic.
Look, I've got to ask, whenever we see someone swapping between a lot of different heroes, do you always count that as a big strength, you know, that they're willing to sort of adapt, or can it be too much? Is there a point where you're saying, well, now they're just wildly swapping?
It depends on their mindset going in. Some teams, they're prepared and saying, we want to switch to this. Other teams are just frustrated because what they initially planned on wasn't working, and they desperation swap. In Fnatic's case here, it definitely felt like it was something they planned for and something they wanted to do. IDDQD knew as soon as he got to that second stage, he was going to be swapping off of that from the McCree to the Mei.
Yeah, I feel like it was well planned as well. They really tried their best, and given that everyone thought that Fnatic, well, I say everyone, not Huck, it's a bit on the outside, but everyone else said Fnatic probably going to be able to take it. They did sort of live up to that reputation, so that's very exciting. Anything else? I mean, what do you think about that final stage? Because we were talking a lot about that, how difficult it could be to break all the way through. Both teams did it, but you know, it wasn't easy.
The final stage is a playground for the defense because here's the problem: is that when you're coming in the offense, when the payload first moves in, the gates are open. There's no crazy choke point. But if you fail that push, if you are taken out by the defense gets an enormous defender's advantage because they can just keep you stuck at those 2 choke points.
Now we're going to be moving into Dorado as our second map in a best of 5 here. So even if Fnatic run away with it, we're not going to be done yet. Very excited. Who's your favorite team on this map?
I feel like if there's one map NRG will take in the series, it is Dorado. It is their home turf. All the way back to their days of LG and before that, this squad is comfortable on this map. It's where they beat Team Liquid earlier today. It's where they're comfortable bringing teams. Now, Fnatic, I'm sure they knew that NRG is comfortable with this map. They're no slouches at themselves, but I would expect good things from NRG here.
I am interested to see how this is going to go. I've personally been a bit worried about NRG's defense on this map just because they're very aggressive early on. Curious, they've got Gods on that Bastion. You know, he's going to swap out immediately, trolling me. I kind of wish. And also Milo and Torbjorn. I guess he's going to be swapped out as well. Are we ever going to see a competitive Torbjorn at this level?
Competitive Torbjorn maybe on the Bonnie. You used to see a decent amount there, but it's pretty darn rare.
Disappointing, but they are going to be off to a start here. Fnatic going the, I'd say, the more traditional route of holding back behind the bend and just on top of the hill there. So NRG going to be given a little bit of space to move around with here early on, and they're not even anticipating, it seems, any kind of an attack here, just waiting.
Dorado has a proud tradition of teams staying back here in this courtyard. It's where you want to defend. It's really risky to go up front, even though some teams will be aggro. Certainly Fnatic not taking that approach. They're giving NRG all the space to come in, but they could just swoop in from the side and flank, and NRG, I think they see that something is up, and they're going to be going up to the left and try and take the high ground.
For sure, if they had kept pushing with the card up there, that would have been very bad, especially IDDQD on that Mei. Probably easy to use the ice wall and zone them out. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it if they come around the corner here. Putting the Reinhardt in first. Ice wall is out, and Seagull actually doing a very good job. That's going to be Stoop immediately out of the fight.
Seagull's been doing this all day long, just separates out Stoop and is looking for more. This is where NRG is going to be way more aggressive, pushing in. Fnatic, they're bending right now. They're not breaking just yet. They're holding on firm despite the early pickoff, but here comes NRG. Milo and Guts going, but Vods coming right back. An early Death Blossom takes out 2, but he's going to fall.
Seagull using the Ice Cube just to dodge the Reaper ultimate, comes out and headshots him. That's incredible. And then Milo to clean up a couple of kills, and in spite of a little bit of trouble with that Death Blossom, they actually almost don't even break. They're just going to be right on through. What a great offensive push coming out of NRG early on now. Can they stop Fnatic from setting up aggressively next time? They've got, it seems, more ultimates ready.
Ultimates are definitely in NRG's favor. This is a momentum break here where they won the first fight really decisively. Pook soon to have Sound Barrier. They have the Ana boost. This is a big one for NRG. If they can win the next fight, they're going to be well positioned to take second. And Fnatic right now, they're deciding how they want to do this because they know they're at a disadvantage right now.
Up on the high ground there. They don't have that many heroes that are really vertical right now, NRG. I mean, Gods could technically shadow step up there, but that would be a big risk. Everyone else on the low ground, there's no Pharah or Genji or anything else like that. Vods, though, going to come down and take the fight with them right on top of the Blizzard. Got to be a bit careful. Milo following up as well. And look at all the kills coming through. Gods with a double kill and Milo helping out. And NRG cleaning up Fnatic. They did use 2 of those ultimates, and Milo still has his, though.
NRG just cashed in their ultimates. That is the advantage of a quick early strike on first. They had the ultimates they needed to get the job done, and they rolled right through. Fnatic, there wasn't a whole lot they could do about this. That was NRG's fight to lose, and they did not lose it.
Very interesting. Now, on the other hand, Fnatic are starting to catch up in ultimates. They are going to have 4 within a very short time here, so if they can just not get picked off one at a time before that happens, that'd be great. Stoop just using his, trying to see if they could get some kills behind it. Coolmat still with his right now, but it feels like they're using them almost a little bit panicked right now. Bud's going to be going down. That Earth Shatter didn't have a big follow-up. Coolmat coming up with the Graviton Surge and the Sound Barrier defensively for Fnatic, and they're getting some kills in finally. Coolmat with 2 big shots there. Stoop going to be going down. And NRG are fighting back a Graviton Surge of their own, catching almost all of Fnatic. Do they have the damage? They will. Picking up 3 kills. Another one coming in as Wanitail falls, and Coolmat. My God, they changed it around after all. NRG, that's a big turnaround.
What a recovery from NRG in that fight. They were able to bring that back, and it was looking grim. Matt was charged up. He was lit up like a Christmas tree. He got a good Graviton, but unfortunately for Fnatic, they weren't quite able to get all the fall-through they needed. And it goes from bad to worse here, Anders, because you take a look at NRG. They're going to have Sound Barrier in the next fight and an Earth Shatter. This is a definite advantage to them if they do this. They're going to be aggressive with their engage. Fnatic has to play this carefully. IDDQD has to get a good Deadeye.
Seagull down on the low ground here again. High ground Fnatic or advantage for Fnatic, but look at Seagull using the ice wall to change the map. Jumps himself up and a freeze and a headshot, and McCree is out of it. Now he's been put to sleep for a little while, but he's going to come back, and he's angry waking up from that slumber, looking for the icicles. Not going to get it on Custer, and Fnatic actually resetting a little bit. He has a good defense put up.
Yeah, and I think what really went into that fight is that NRG never really felt comfortable with their engage. Pooks held on to the Sound Barrier, so the upside there for NRG is they didn't waste resources. The downside is that now instead of having a fight that was more in their favor ult-wise, we're going into an ult showdown here where both teams going to be fully charged up, so except Montiel should be getting Sound Barrier later in the fight. So now this is going to be a little bit more even. NRG, a harder job ahead of them moving into this next fight.
See if they could pull anyone off that ledge there. Enigma doesn't actually have his ultimate. That would be fun if they could maybe draw them off the high ground like that. The Sound Barrier is out, and that's a good cue to go. Charging in with the Nano Boost ultimate. Almost hits nobody. God's not making it, but he gets a kill on Coolmat. But that's 2 ultimates used for that 1 kill.
Killing Coolmat, though, is super effective. He's a big part, and God's not holding on just yet, gets the double kill, looking for a little bit more, ends up being the Earth Shatter, falls to the ground, dummy on the stoop, and for now, NRG is keeping momentum. And here's the key here, Anders, they're going to need to keep up with this right now. They have 5 people alive right now, they need the 6th to come join them, and they have to hold on because Fnatic, they can stall this out for a while. If they get any kill, they could actually hold.
Oh, Ice Wall though. Bud's in the Wraith form, trying to buy time. He's almost got his own ultimate. There's Coolmat. He's back from the dead, and he picks up a big ultimate. Buds is going to be going down. IDDQD takes out Dummy. They're just trying to stall right now. If they can't win this fight, then they're going to lose the point immediately, and they are actually winning it, getting all the kills right now. And NRG, you're going to have to go back. That Ice Wall looked like it was perfect.
It was a great Ice Wall. It was just a little bit too slow to keep out Buds, but it was a good maneuver by Seagull nonetheless. But Fnatic, life in them yet, and truthfully, getting the last point here on Dorado is very hard because you don't just have to win the fight, you have to win it decisively to where the other team can't stall. And Anders, look at this. Buds is creeping. This is the standard Reaper spot. We've seen Reapers and corners do all sorts of work here. He is going to be a threat here in this next fight.
And it's relatively safe because even if they check it, if they come by, you can just Wraith form out of there and you won't be too far away from your team. He's going to be jumping down already. Ult on the Ana, and that's going to be Dummy going down immediately. Bud still plenty of health, follows up with a kill, gets Milo as well, and also the enemy Enigma out of it there. So a lot of trouble right now for NRG, and they're quickly running out of time here, CP.
NRG, they only have a minute 30 left. That gives them 1, maybe 2 pushes left here. 2 if they're quick about getting wiped. But Fnatic, they are looking like they might actually be able to hold before last, and that'd be a disappointment for NRG with how quick they went. But Anders, look at the war chest of NRG right now. All 6 ultimates are up. This is their window to win. A must-win fight coming up here for NRG.
I want an accurate percentage chance that NRG win this. Are we talking like 73.5? Is it like
73.3 repeating?
All right, there we go. That's the expert for you. I'm going to just absolutely accept that. Trying to see if he can heal up here. Oh, what's the wall to block out the nano-boosted gods? And that's a bit of a problem, but they still have another 2 ults left, except Milo is dead. It's just going to be the Zarya waiting. They are getting some really good kills in here. How much time can Fnatic buy for the respawns? Another wall coming in. There's the ult finally coming out from NRG, and they are getting all the kills, but still, the respawns are happening.
The respawns are coming in, and they lost a few people moving in. This is still going to be a little bit tricky. The ice wall there, look at Seagull. He blocks the way. Will it be enough? Vods has to take the long way around. Is he going to get there in time? He will not. It didn't work the first time, Anders, but it worked the second, and they prevented the stall.
What's that saying? If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's incredible. Very, very good job. They did have 6 ultimates, so we've got to sort of put that at the back of them. And I mean, I guess we have to expect this at a team at this level. It's not like they used all 6 at the same time, right? They did use some in the beginning, then they waited until the end, and they ended up making it work. It's quite impressive.
It's one of those things where you have to be careful about going in because, sure, if you use all 6 ults at the same time in that fight, maybe you win the fight really quickly. But if a few people get away, they could still stall you out. You have to be judicious about using them. You want to use them in such a way that you can keep control of the fight, you can keep everyone alive, and you can stop that stall. And again, what better way of stopping a stall? It's not even ultimate. It's just a well-placed ice wall at the end to keep out stupid buds from extending that map.
It could have been, I guess, more than a minute earlier if they had done it the first time around. If they had kept Buds out, that wouldn't have been it. Oh, look at this! If you are going to be watching Overwatch, then why not have your puppy with you?
That is adorable. Plus, we already had cat love earlier in the stream where apparently I was Dr. ZP, but got a little bit of dog action going on now here too.
Wonderful. Just hope she doesn't press any buttons. Oh, there we go.
What have I done? I've summoned it.
You're baiting the production team right into that one. That is a great Photoshop, though. I appreciate that one.
That was great. It was also really quick. We just mentioned it on the desk, and then no less than maybe 5 minutes later, there it is. So the production crew, they are wizards.
Yeah, I hope that's like a dedicated title, an official title someone has, you know, the meme master or something like that. I think that's a good job. That has to be a job in the future.
If the title isn't meme master right now, please rename that title the meme master.
Now we're going into the second half here. It's going to be NRG on the defensive, or sorry, on the defensive side, and Fnatic now on the offensive side, seeing if it's going to make it work. And again, NRG being much more aggressive here.
NRG, we saw Envious do this way back in the day. European teams like Ryan Watts, they get right in your face. And Fnatic, they're not falling here just yet, but they are having troubles getting the first pick. The scary thing for NRG, if they lose someone early here, it's going to be rough. And here comes Coolmat onto Enigma with IDDQD. First pick off to the side of Fnatic, and this is bad for the defense because they don't respawn nearly as fast. It's Buds getting the double kill right at the end.
Oh, it's going to be massive. Another kill for Coolmat too, and that particle cannon chewing them up. He was at 90 or more charge almost that whole fight, and that's obviously incredible. Now, the problem that I have with this kind of a setup is that now NRG, I'm not even sure they can get back in time to defend at the top of the hill. They sort of just have to concede that first point more or less, and I think that's a bit of an issue.
That's the risk here. It's a high risk, high reward. You can keep people back and maybe get back in time for the second defense, but if you lose it slowly, the offense is going to have a big advantage. And look at the ultimates right now, Anders. Buds is going to be ready to go in. Death Blossom at the right. Here comes the Nano. Goes right in. Gets the double. Makes it a triple with the help of IDDQD. And they cut through NRG like butter.
Well, not much to really say about that. Just a clean breakthrough. And we do have the Bastion out as well on top of the payload, like we were playing a public game. But he's about 25% away from that ultimate. Could we be seeing another nano-boosted rocket jumping Bastion ult?
It is entirely a possibility. It's one, but actually, IDDQD, this is where teams sometimes say, you know what, it's not actually worth sticking to an ultimate. We want to go with what we feel is the better pick. They go away from the Bastion. They're moving to the McCree. IDDQD going to his specialty.
They do have the high ground here. See if there's anything that can be done about it. That ult up right below. Is it going to drag anyone across here? I wonder. Not quite. They are actually down and fighting NRG. They only have the Earth Shatter available right now on the Reinhardt, and it's already come out there. Milo swinging away, trying to see if he can do it. IDDQD and Vods picking up a couple of kills here.
Hit scan power coming in strong here for Fnatic. Gods and IDDQD fighting it out. And IDDQD, this is where McCree is so effective. In the back line, he gets good cleanup. Looking for Ana. Dummy going the fall. Pook's going the fall. The flick shot from IDDQD. And this is going to be Fnatic on cleanup duty.
Very well done. They're setting an impressive time right now. 4 minutes, and see if they could continue on. They do have the nano boost ready, and IDDQD almost has his Deadeye, so we'll see how that works out.
All right, well, he almost gets poked down there, has to back out in a hurry, goes back to the safety of his team. And NRG, it looks like they're going to contest this. Noted Seagull, he has Dragon Blade up. We haven't seen him on Genji too much in this tournament, but his Genji play is a gem. And here we go, Dragon Blade on the way, takes out Custa, takes out IDDQD. A double kill here for Seagull, and Anders, he is going crazy.
Oh, fantastic stuff. That Deadeye, you actually saw Gods trying to roll out of that. He tried to roll out of the range of that IDDQD ult, but it just wasn't enough. NRG, they still will be able to clean it up here as Seagull picks up 2 big kills. And you were talking about that Genji, definitely already doing work here. Fnatic, they have so much time to him.
Seagull, when he got really popular, one of his reasons for that was his Genji play. He was one of the original Genji players that really played at a high level. He hasn't been as much in the meta recently, but it is a trump card of NRG's, and look at how quickly he's building out here. That means he's hitting all sorts of shuriken spam. He's very likely to have a Dragon Blade 2 fights in a row.
It's like an OG Genji. It's like a rhythm going on there, definitely. Someone could make a rap out of that. Just poking away at the shield here with the McCree from behind the shield. Some smart or cowardly play, depending on what your opinion is. Going to be shooting from the back lines. IDDQD trying to see if he can make it work, and now on top of the ultimate as well. Sound barrier coming out defensively to try and shield him from all of that. And we've got Seagull in the background swinging away with that massive blade. It's going to be IDDQD and Vods picking up 2 big kills, and Fnatic, they're going to continue on here. Don't see NRG turning this one.
Fnatic's positioning there was a gem. They knew that Seagull was going to be going in with the Dragon Blade. IDDQD hung back, got the sound barrier, and laid shot after shot in the Seagull to end the threat. Fnatic moving forward, and they have quite a bit of time to cap out this map right now. Remember, 29 seconds here for NRG. It's not the end of the world for them. If Fnatic finishes out, they'll get at least a minute, but you got to be liking Fnatic's chances right now with the time they have saved up.
It's going to be a long and tough hold here. Seagull, though, back on the Mei, and I kind of like that for this final point. I mean, that can definitely zone out quite a bit. They're fighting a bit early on here, and Vods picking up a kill. Ice Wall not going to do anything to save Seagull this time. And also the Winston ultimate coming out there. I feel like it's just nowhere near enough. Fnatic are looking deadly at the moment. What do NRG do at this point in time?
It's going to be rough for them because you look at their ults. They are bankrupt on ult economy right now. They have nothing walking through that door. Maybe an Ana ult if possible. Look at Fnatic. They have all the tools they need to end this game. NRG has to hope to not get all wiped at the same time right now and stall things out. Absorb the ultimates to go from there. IDDQD looking for the free Deadeye kills right now. May or may not get it, but Fnatic definitely in the power seat as they move forward.
Custer up here, he's got the ultimate ready, and there it goes. Nano boost on in, he hasn't even used the ultimate yet. Vods, there it goes, trying to pick up the enemy Ana, and that's going to be a massive kill coming through. Double for Vods, still activated. 3rd kill coming in, and that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Fnatic setting an impressive time. NRG obviously still has time, but that's just one hell of a run.
It is crazy. Now, NRG, they can bring this back, but just look at the series as a whole. This is troubling. Let's say NRG does the miracle and is able to win this map. They're supposed to win this map. This is the map that has been their best map historically. It's a map they're very comfortable on. So if it ends up being that they just barely win this map, it's not a great omen for them for the rest of the series, even though at this point it would be tied 1-1.
And if they don't win it at all, and right now you can't really say they are winning it.
No.
What do you do when you start off here? You're going to be pushing, and you have just a minute left. I mean, what does that do to Fnatic's defense as well, I wonder? You know, are they going to be saying, you know what, we don't need to we just need to slow them down for like a minute and that's it?
I think Fnatic probably goes with the standard defense. I definitely don't think you want to run the aggro defense here because it's too risky. You don't want to go into a situation where you lose the aggro defense badly, you give them a whole lot of ult charge, and then they can just roll things forward. Because the time bank system, remember, when they run out of time here, it is a mad dash. So long as they're on the cart, they can keep it in overtime and potentially go all the way to the end. So for NRG, their dream right now, they need to win an early fight big and just keep chaining ultimates to bring the payload as far as possible.
I look forward to seeing that, just that, and you're not wrong either, CP. They have gone for a very standard setup here. And I expect we'll see NRG try for something similar on the offense here, where they sort of push to the hill and then they go the other way around. Just because following that payload all the way up the hill is going to be a little bit tricky once they make the bend right around the corner here. But so far, not being contested.
Really, in Dorado, offenses like taking their time. They like being tricky. They don't have that luxury here, Anders. They have to move with this. They have to look for that early pick. Seagull just hoping and praying to get this headshot here on May. And here we go. The May elevator in progress. They are going to be rolling right in sooner rather than later.
So rather than going around, you're right, they just get up on top of the ice wall. We are down to 25 seconds here, so they don't have a lot of time to think about this. It's got to be now or never, and IDDQD, he's got to be poised. He's waiting with his ice wall. Now they're pushing through. Wall here to zone out to the players. They can't fall back with their team, but the shield is up from the Reinhardt there, so trying to keep this team alive, and now they're going to be pushing forward. No one dying yet. This fight has already been going on for a while. Another ice wall comes in, and Seagull doing his very best. We are going to be in overtime, so any mistake here, Stoop picking up Seagull, that's not a good sign for NRG, and a second kill coming through the Reinhardt, swinging away with that hammer.
Stoop just rolling in, swing after swing, sets up Vods. It's 4, 5 kills here for Fnatic. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Fnatic will be holding on here. They will stop it right here. And now for NRG, they're gonna have to hold at this point here, Anders, for 2 minutes, 50 seconds at that distance. That's gonna be super difficult.
I'm not sure I'm seeing that either. It's possible, and they have already shown us that they like playing aggressively before that point. So, I mean, at least there's that going on, but still.
Yeah, I mean, that's the upside, right? Is that they're experienced with holding far up. But now it's not just hold far up, get a second chance if you get wiped. It's hold far up and pray that you can do that for almost 3 minutes, and it's almost mission impossible.
Right under that bridge. They can probably guess that most of the fight is going to be taking place right under that bridge. Any sense in picking up something like Pharah or Junkrat just to get the AoE damage in? Because there's going to be a confined space, right?
Junkrat would be interesting. Junkrat, we see less of him nowadays, where at one point it was actually NRG's bread and butter to have Seagull run the Junkrat. He's one of the best Junkrats in the game. Teams have avoided him except in very pro-Junkrat situations, though, because of the Ana, but I gotta say, if you're gonna gamble here, why not give it a shot? But it is looking like they're gonna put their hopes and dreams in the May instead.
And why not? Again, segment that push that's going to be coming in from Fnatic and just try and see if you can make that work. 2 minutes and 51 seconds is a really long time here for NRG to try and hold on. They're pretty far back at the moment, but they were last time as well. We'll see once the gate opens if they're going to try and see if they can push up here. This is it.
This is, for Fnatic, they gotta be feeling good. That's just what it comes down to here. They don't have to do much. They just need to win a single fight. They don't even have to get to the end. One fight is all they need here, Anders, and they'll be putting themselves up 2-0 and be that much closer to moving on in this tournament.
Look at IDDQD already forcing them to focus on so many different fronts. Now they have to worry not just about that bridge, but about him being in the back line. That's actually very clever. You see all the time how Dummy's turning around because you have to worry about that Tracer coming in behind. Gods being up on the high ground here, ready to hook somebody in. He's being boosted a little bit as well. Dummy in the background here trying to see if he can do anything at all. A big fight is brewing. No ultimates up yet, and IDDQD going down. That's a nice kill for Gods.
Gods getting the pick he needs to get. 65 right now for NRG. They have to keep doing this for the rest of the map. Custom right now keeping his team up here as Ana. Nano boost about to be on the way, and here comes Vods. Vods moving in, takes down Gods, looks for more. He is in the backfield, makes it a double kill. No one is on Vods right now. He wraith forms out, and a lot of space has been made. I'm not sure Milo has it, and he does not. He gets away from the point, and Fnatic caps it out.
I mean, that was a well-placed Blizzard coming out from NRG, but it was obviously too late at that point, it feels like. So just a really, really big win for Fnatic here, and that was on NRG's map as well. You already said even if they win narrowly, that's not going to inspire a lot of confidence. They don't even win it at all. This is scary.
It is scary for NRG because, again, for those who are just tuning in, the stakes could not be higher. This is elimination all the way. Fnatic needs just one more map to send NRG home. And for NRG, it would be a great story if they came back, but they're going to have to pull the reverse sweep.
And I'm going to ask you, when has that happened in Overwatch? Has anyone ever managed to do that 3 in a row like this?
Reverse sweep, I think it might have happened once. It's not very common.
So the silver lining for NRG is they could be making a bit of history here.
Yes.
You always got to look at the upside, but I mean, Fnatic are looking incredibly on point. Would you say they're playing to your expectations or a little bit above or sort of roughly on point?
They're pretty much what I expected going in, and just to sort of note here, we talked about IDDQD and his versatility in the last game, where he wasn't always on Tracer, but they had the ability to go, hey, we're going to put him on Tracer, go for the flank at the end, or right here, the Bastion, where just the surprise strats where they're not expecting it. Usually NRG is the one that does this to other people with the crazy Bastion strategies.
Yeah, and I mean, that Bastion play did take out the nano-boosted Reinhardt, so that's not such a bad kill to be getting. Just holding down mouse 1, you know, just making sure that works. Yeah, I'm curious, do we know what the third map is yet?
Third map, that is going to be NRG's choice, and I assume NRG, just looking over there, I think they want some time to talk it over. That'd be my guess, because this is a big decision. Even though they do have to go through the gambit and win the 3 remaining maps, you still want to start things off on a map where you think it's going to be most favorable, where you'll get some momentum, and maybe unsettle the other team a little bit.
Very interesting. I would love to see Hanamura or something like that. Just because we haven't seen it yet. I know it's not popular, but I sort of wish we could anyway. Oh, and it is going to be Hanamura. I'm definitely curious about that one. I mean, there are some heroes here. We were all expecting that it was going to be like the 3-3 play that was going to be sort of really, really popular. But there are some stable hero picks anyway. Obviously, Ana being one of them, Lucio, but Zarya being played a hell of a lot too. Zarya on Hanamura. Viable? I asked it a little bit jokingly. It feels like it's good on all maps. But
Zarya, I don't think there's any map where you can look and say Zarya is bad. She's one of the most versatile heroes in the game. A lot of pro players, when they talk about her, say she's the stealth DPS hero, where she's a tank, but oftentimes if you can get charged up, you can move in and do all sorts of damage. You set up your team super well with supporting ultimates, and you, as a general rule, you're also pretty darn durable, so really good stuff from Zarya.
See how that is going to unfold here. Curious about that third map pick. Who do you think has the most experience out of these two teams playing Hanamura?
So Hanamura is not usually a map that teams have a ton of experience on as a general rule. Historically, the one map or team that always seemed to get stuck on Hanamura was Reunited, but they're on the European side of things, so I don't think I'd really say either of these two teams has a huge advantage. It's not like they've never played it before, but I can't think that either team has really done tons of Hanamura. So it's more of a surprise pick, but it could favor NRG in the sense that Fnatic is really well prepped, but they've probably spent less prep time on Hanamura relative to their other maps.
All right, but I mean, it seems like most of the teams have been avoiding it up until this point, but we're in a best-of-5 format, so it obviously makes a bit more tricky, especially because simultaneously with the team sort of trying to avoid Hanamura, they've also been avoiding a lot of the control point maps, just generally speaking. There've been some method being one of them. They sort of like to play it, but we don't get to see of them. So I kind of like the best-of-5 format in that sense, that we get to see a lot more.
Best of 5 has always been great in Overwatch just because of the reason you just mentioned, where you do have to go a little bit deeper, teams have to test their map pool a little bit harder, and you get to see more maps that teams aren't necessarily super well prepared on, which means you get more variability, you get more crazy games, you get more upsets, and that's just awesome to watch as a spectator.
So what do you think? I mean, the fact that we managed to sort of, we get into this tournament thinking that the 3-3, the 3 tanks and 3 supports were going to be the really, really big combination. And we were all predicting, all right, Ana and the nano-boosted Reinhardt, so powerful because of the HP, because of the shield, and because of the damage and speed you get behind it. And then we saw the nano-boosted Reaper. Off the top of your head, have you been thinking, we've only sort of been seeing it a couple of days now, have you had a chance to think about what's a good counter? I mean, we've seen some of them, but what's your feeling about the best way to deal with that?
So people got off of playing McCree against 3-2-1 comps and 3-3s in general because McCree wasn't doing quite enough, so you wanted the Reaper for tank damage. But now the teams are shifting more to the 2-2-2s because they're trying to counter 3-2-1s. You have the case where McCree is actually really darn good against Reaper because when Reaper goes in, they sort of have a love-hate relationship where if Flashbang is down, Reaper can do good things to a McCree. But if Flashbang is up, you can interrupt his ultimate and you can force him to go away, which really hurts Reaper's surprise ability. So I think just better McCree play.
So better McCree play with the Flashbang. And I guess even if Zarya shields that Reaper, that means suddenly you're putting a lot of abilities on just one unit or one hero. And that's always going to be a little bit tricky as well. It means the rest of that team is going to be a little bit more soft. So I guess that's also, it could be a problem long term.
Definitely could. So we are heading now into Hanamura. And this is going to be interesting. This is where NRG stakes their tournament life. If they don't win here, it is all over. They are going home. Meanwhile, Fnatic, they want to close this out.
It looks like it will be. Fnatic defending the first point here, and NRG going to be on the aggressive side, already going to be charging on out. Seagull quite quick, they're going to make their way up all the way to the high ground here, and no surprise Fnatic are defending at the big choke point here in the middle.
Fnatic, they are just holding back. They definitely don't want to go too aggro. Seagull, though, definitely going to be looking for some Mei elevator shenanigans. She does have some good spots on this map for that sort of thing. NRG, they're going to be methodical, but here we go. Seagull moving in, and look at that elevator right through the middle. But Vods and Custa already, the immediate denial, not quite as tricky as they thought they were.
I mean, I still like the idea. I don't always rate things on whether or not they work. That was definitely a cinematic moment, you know, creating sort of a red carpet for themselves, just saying, yeah, you know, we're invited whether you want us or not. Didn't work out, but still, it looked great.
It was cool. And then Vods and Custa were just like, actually, we're not impressed.
But now, once again, we do see the Tracer actually sipping into the back line here, so that's going to maybe cause a little bit of a distraction there. Enigma's Tracer.
Enigma is a stealth Tracer god. He is really good at that hero, doesn't always bring it up, and that's a worry here for Fnatic as he gets in the back line. But look at Seagull was trying to make something happen. Bud's taking him out, and now they're down a player here, and they're probably going to wait for Seagull to come back in. I think they were going for the double flank. It just didn't quite work out.
Gods in the back line on the way to make one. Oh, right through the window. Headshot, and Custer's going to be out of it. He's looking for more. That shield not quite covering in the back line there on Zarya. Looking for a shot on Lucio, but not going to happen. Now the ice wall defensively coming out for Fnatic. He's trying to shoot through right at the edge of it. Now he's going to be careful. The man with the hammer right in front of him, and that's a little bit scary. God's actually not going to be backing up. He's just looking for more, and they're already on the point contesting it, so just drawing Fnatic a little bit back here. God's been given so much space, but he's finally going to be out.
Remember, any pickoff you get here as the offense is huge because of how long it takes to run back, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to keep the momentum. The defense is getting back in. IDD, QD, and Buds running cleanup crew here. And the problem is for NRG, Anders, and this could be really devastating. There's only 2 minutes left, about 3 pushes left for them, but one of those pushes is going to basically be a guaranteed wipe because look at the ult bank right now for Fnatic.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a little bit ugly. And also, we were talking about Zarya and how much of a stable she is. NRG actually don't have one. So what do you think about that?
It's risky not to be around Zarya here. They're going for the double flanker instead, trying to get in. But here we go. Next fight is underway. IDD opens with the ice wall, throws down the blizzard. He's going to be stopping Milo in his tracks. Sound barrier comes out, but they're not in a position to really take advantage of it. Fnatic using the ult in the bank, but Seagull, he's in the back line. Dragon Blade at the ready, takes down Custa. Gods with the pickoff, and NRG in the most dire of situations. Anders are making this happen.
What an incredible comeback into this fight. I can't believe it. Now it's going to be Seagull again, picking up another couple of kills there. That did not look like they should have been able to turn it, but you saw how much time and how many shots IDDQD put into Milo, and he just kept living forever, it seemed. The sound barrier, the heals coming out of dummy, everything is working out. And now NRG, they capped the first point. They got 5 minutes for the second one.
This is really good for NRG. That was not a fight that was looking great for them. They were going in at an ult bank disadvantage, but they made it work. That's how you make turnarounds here in Overwatch. Fnatic right now, they just need to recover and set up their defense because this is the best chance for an offense to take this point immediately after taking point A.
Not going to connect with the shot on the Lucio there. That would have been a fun pick-off to start another fight. Fnatic still have 2 ultimates and are building on more. Seagull going to be falling back here, not really to take the fight just yet. Just poking in, doing a little bit of damage onto Winston, but not really committing to that fight. They are trying to get the high ground here.
They're trying to get the high ground. They're trying to build some ult. Seagull taking down Buds with authority, 83%. Anders, he builds a Dragon Blade. This might be all NRG needs. This is a window of opportunity, and he's just looking for it, but IDD QD shuts that window right away, and that is going to be a hold here for Fnatic.
Great time to pick up a McCree inside of this big hole, and it's going to be Custer actually taking out Enigma. NRG just losing too many players to continue that push. You have to wonder if that Dragon Blade could have gone up. Maybe that could have been a really ugly end to this half.
You never want to give Seagull a Dragon Blade. He is a master of using it. He has just absolutely devastated teams in the past, but IDDQD, one of the best McCrees in the game. One of the scariest parts about Fnatic when McCree was always used. He's going to be on Seagull shutdown duty, so even if Seagull joins this next fight with Nano Boost into Dragon Blade, it's not a guaranteed team wipe.
And actually now, none of the teams are running a Zarya, so I almost wonder if that's like a rip-off effect where it's like, if one team isn't doing it, the other team feels more safe in not doing it. IDDQD pushing up here, a lot of shields up for him to try and push through in the back lines, and he's been given a bit of space. There's the Dragon Blade coming out. Oh! What a flashbang coming out! And Seagull, not a chance.
IDDQD, the goalie, he had one job to stop Seagull, and he did it beautifully. That was phenomenal. You saw him just looking to the left. He's like, where is the bird? He found the bird. It's gone.
That's unbelievable. Such good timing. And if he goes down, then suddenly, who knows what can happen. So, I mean, it was 5 minutes. Now, half that time's been used for NRG, and so have a lot of ultimates. They're about to have 3 on the line here. I mean, Gods and Hoops are going to have theirs, but I'm not sure if it's quite enough. Again, it's hard to maybe set up that big McCree ult.
The bigger problem here is that it's hard to land a big Earth Shatter from this positioning. Sound barriers are going to completely cancel out here. So Vonathil and Pooks, you can call that a wash. And IDDQD, he's really far back. It's going to be hard for them to gauge. He's going up here with the Deadeye.
Buying even more time right now. Not going to go through with anything this time. They are just waiting for it. A little bit of damage to the back lines there now. Sound barrier. Can they actually get it for a fight here? Pook still holding on to it. They are fighting a little bit on that bridge. God's going down. That's a nice shot from IDDQD. Following up on Dummy, trying to chase him down. One more click, and that's going to be it.
Here goes.
You weren't kidding with that. IDDQD McCree and chasing down even more. The reflector coming up, and it'll be a punch straight to the jaw. And Seagull going down.
Oh my goodness. Just when you think it was bad, it got worse. The nano boost for the finisher, punching Seagull right in the jaw. This is IDDQD's game right now. It is his hero, and he's showing why he is one of the most devastating McCrees in the game.
That's just very, very interesting. I mean, so this is the question. We see how much space he's been given, IDDQD. What can they do, NRG, to stop that? He's in the back line shooting, and no one's really fighting him.
Well, we do have Enigma now in the Winston. I think he's going to leap right on him. He's trying things out, and that's what he's doing. He gets in his face, but he's able to back out. Here comes Seagull. Dragon Blade at the ready. Goes for IDDQD. Is low HP. Not what he needs. He's under hot pursuit. And this is going to be 3 quick kills here from Fnatic and Anders. This is the doom here for NRG. They only have 1 more team fight left.
I am actually in awe. That was another flashbang, and if he hadn't been behind the pillar then, I think he would have been gone immediately. That kind of saved him enough to have the reflect and made it a little bit longer. They have 1 team fight left, and for that team fight, though, they do have 4 ultimate CP.
This is NRG's window. It's their best chance. It's probably the best of the position all game long. What they're going to need here is I expect Enigma to just roll right on the IDDQD, use Primal Rage, try and remove that threat. Meanwhile, Dummy, he can use the Nano Boost on Seagull, on Gods, go for a little bit of McCree action on their own. But here we go, NRG on the way. Let's see how it pans out.
Already with the barrier up top, Gods in the back line doesn't want to get sniped again. He has got his ultimate, but IDDQD already taking out Enigma. You weren't wrong, it just didn't work out that way. So much damage on that McCree, and now flashbang in there, trying to see if they can make it work, but there's 10 seconds left. It's now or never, and NRG, there's just no access to this final point. Fnatic, they're rock solid, and it's going to be Gods going down. We hear that overtime bell coming in. There's almost no chance. They're running through the ice wall to try and get onto the point and buy a bit more time, but IDDQD, the ultimate guardian here, just shutting them down. There is no entrance.
You must defeat my McCree to stand a chance, says Fnatic. What a gem of a performance coming out from IDDQD. There was no answer from NRG, and Anders, their best hope of winning this game now is coming out with a strong point A hold, because other than that, the path for them to win is going to be very steep indeed.
So just let's talk about IDDQ here, because I feel like we just have to at this point, right? They tried with the Genji, they tried with a couple of Dragon Blades, and that flashbang shut him down. Then they tried McCree versus McCree, that didn't work out either. Then they ended up with the Winston to get close the distance and try and just keep him occupied. One thing they didn't really try was actually in the beginning, Gods did have the Widowmaker. Any chance that he could have taken IDDQD in a fight long range with the Widowmaker?
Actually, that is something that has worked in the past when teams were really relying on McCree. The stealth Widow pick, I actually think that could have had a chance. People tend to underrate Widow quite a bit right now in the meta, but it was always the case where when Widow was good, that was something that gave McCree fits, because McCree doesn't necessarily kill Widow in 2 shots from long range. There is fall off, whereas Widow just needs 1 magic shot to take out the McCree.
Now, so we're here, you know, you're just in the calm in our observer booths, no problem. We have drinks and everything. We're just having a good time up here. Now, when you're in the game, how hard is it to sort of come up with that idea and say, wait a minute, we actually have something that we haven't explored yet? You know, like, you're under a lot of pressure. They have only like a couple of minutes to make it work. Do you think, is there anyone on NRG that has a big enough personality to say, just hold on, I'm going to take charge of this and say, this is what we need to do?
Seagull is one of the more flexible minds in the game. He definitely comes up with crazy strategies. But Widowmaker has been out of it for so long that I just don't think she comes to mind in the heat of the moment, in a pressure situation. Let's go this and take out this threat. I don't think anyone was that cerebral, or anyone in Overwatch really would be in that situation. It's rough when you don't usually play something, but it might have been the answer that they were looking for.
Well, we're not going to find out this time at least. That is a good hold for Fnatic. They lose the first point, but they do manage to hold on to the second one. Now they're going to be on the offensive here, trying to push through again. IDDQD, every map so far, he just darts into the back line. And now let's see if NRG can handle the pressure from multiple fronts here.
IDDQD, he's going to be flanking in here on this Tracer, putting his hit scan skills to use, but he immediately eats on a dart. That's going to stop him a little bit. The rest of his team flanking in from the right, so Fnatic has gone through the archway. Problem number one has been solved, and oh my goodness, just obliterates Gods. The first pick off to IDDQD, and he is coming in style here. Enigma takes out Cool Map, and here's the thing, Anders, even if they lose this fight for Fnatic, they will reinforce quicker.
Yeah, they're already doing a fantastic job. It's good for Pooks and Dummy to get a couple of kills in here. The bomb comes out from IDDQD. He doesn't really do too much, and he's going to go back with the pistol, try and see if he can make it work. Seagull landing some huge kills, and that's definitely going to help out NRG.
The cool thing about Mei, no pun intended, is that her right clicks, if they headshot a Tracer, that's it. The Tracer is dead so long as she's not out of fall-off range. So that's always scary for someone like IDDQD going against Seagull. He can end his day in an instant. It's pretty rough, but here comes Fnatic once more, and Seagull, he's pumped, he's poised. He's going to split them off here, and this could go very badly for Fnatic.
They certainly managed to get Vods on the other side of that wall, but now the rest of the team is coming in. He has the Blizzard up as well. We'll see if he can maybe land it well enough. This is quite a long range to be sniping away with these icicles, so going to be a little bit tricky to hit perfect headshots with.
It's tricky, but they've gotten the few pickoffs that they need, and they are in hunt mode. They are going right in after Fnatic. Here comes the weather report. The Blizzard is in, but Fnatic, they're holding on. Coolman actually takes out Seagull and all that. Gods and IDDQD having a friendly Tracer v Tracer battle on the point, but it looks like it's going to be Enigma with the Vital Cleanup, building up his Graviton Surge in the process.
IDDQD going to be going down there, just double teaming him, and God's going to be putting out the bomb. Doesn't really do that much, but he's just picking the kills up anyway, and being given a lot of space to work with. I feel like Fnatic need a good reset right now.
Fnatic, they're in some trouble. Really, you take a look at it. NRG, they're going to have a lot of ults up soon. They have Graviton, they have Sound Barrier. Fnatic, not that much in their ult bank. I mean, they will have a Graviton of their own, but if they lose the next fight, which will be relatively even ult v ult, they're in a real danger of losing this map, which would be a horrible predicament given how they started it.
We're looking very strong indeed. Tracer in the back line looking for Sari, and look at how well he's managing everything. We'll be getting a bit of healing there, and Sari is so beefy, but finally going to be going down. But the rest of the Fnatic team have pretty much evaporated. That just leaves Tracer here on the point with a little bit of help. That's a big ult coming out, but the shield there to block it. Great work from Milo, and that's going to be a cleanup for NRG once again.
That was a really nice flank coming in from IDDQD. He got value that he was looking for. Unfortunately, the rest of his team did not have that good of a time against the main NRG squad. And here we go, Anders. NRG might be on the precipice of a turnabout right now. This is 50 seconds left for Fnatic, arguably their last push. Vods has Death Blossom at the ready. Will be enough versus this Graviton. The Graviton is in.
Wow, that's really big. The ult coming out as well for Seagull. Is he going to really just drop it in there? There is the Nano Boost. Reinhardt up on top of the Blizzard. Oh my god, complete destruction. Fnatic, they are getting wrecked inside that narrow hallway. That hammer and the Blizzard hitting everything.
So here's the downside here for Fnatic. They will not have a full six. They just have to rush on the point. They cannot worry about positioning, and this means Milo is set up and ready to go. They have to rush in. Here, will the Earth Shatter be on point? The flanking Earth Shatter is there. Knocks down 3. Milo saying hello. Last gasp now for Fnatic.
Oh, Stoop trying for the charge, not quite going to be able to complete it. NRG, they've lost a couple of members. Pook's also going down. Oh, Fnatic, they are going to be in overtime, but they're trying to see if they can cap this point anyway. Custer doing a good job healing his teammates, trying for the sleep dart, but not going to get it. Well, not going to hit him either. Fnatic still staying alive. The Bio Need helping out so much with the healing, and God's going to be going down. And in the last possible seconds here, CP, Fnatic, they make a breakthrough.
That is crazy. NRG had a huge edge going into that fight. Fnatic, they just had to run in. They couldn't worry about cute stuff. They couldn't wait for their full 6. They had to move in. Milo was set up. He hit a great Earth Shatter. The follow-up wasn't immediately there. And now NRG in the hot seat. If they lose this point, Anders, they are going home.
It's a real pleasure watching Custer play this Ana, I feel like. He's hitting so many really crucial heals on his team. It's always happening in the background, so you tend to forget a little bit, but it's a really good support play.
The Anas are really underrated right now. They are the backbone of their team. They land good heals, they land good sleeps. But here comes the side of Fnatic. They're rolling right onto the point. They eat a whole lot of poke damage in the process. And here comes NRG. Nano Boost is out. Stupid 100 HP charges the lamppost, drops a Panic Earthshatter, but has it done enough? It knocks down 2. Fight is underway.
And he really wanted that, but it's not going to be happening. Vods has taken 2 kills. See if he could get a little bit more, but Coolmat is out of the fight. They actually had a lot of ults going into this Fnatic, at least 3, but they've already wasted some of them. And now they kind of have to go back. You see Vods just escaping into the distance there. And they still have time, so they can afford to do this. I feel like with the ults they had up compared to what NRG had, they could have done a better job there.
They definitely could have, and in fact, I think for Fnatic, I'm not even sure burning the ults there is the best case scenario. All they have to do is cap this point and they win the game. Why not bank up even more ultimates here? Save your sound barrier, save your earth shatter, go in with 6 and make NRG waste some of their ults on junk rushes, as Rafa would call it. But either way, Fnatic definitely has opportunities here. 2.5 minutes, about 4 pushes left. See how NRG deals with it.
Now, when Fnatic were on the defensive side here, it was the McCree in the background doing so much damage. What's going to be the damage source for NRG? It looks like they're all more or less going to fight close range right now. Big Reaper coming through, ult there. Vods taking down Enigma, and they're going to be charging on with the nano boost, looking for the shotgun damage. He's going to get stunned though, but still, they lose Milo in that push, and they still have the ult on IDDQD. Coolmat is not far off of his either. Fnatic going to continue this push.
This is NRG's life on the line. They must get back on here. If they lose this point, they are out of it entirely. Fnatic looking for cleanup, looking to go to the next round. NRG streaming out. This is do or die. And here comes the nano boost. Vods moving in, laying in the damage into that Winston, takes him out, goes to the back line. Will this be it? They are almost there.
Oh, and a huge ult coming through. Vods cleaning up, and that's going to be it. Fnatic knocking NRG out, winning the final point here with 1 minute and 35 left. And NRG, they just could not cap it themselves. They couldn't best IDDQD in the back line, and it seems like they didn't have the same kind of setup. Theirs was much more about winning close team fights. The only one that would have been in the background there would have been the Ana healing people, but that's about it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think for NRG, I almost want to say their spirits were broken in that game after they failed to get the first point hold, because they were so close. They were just one team fight away, not even a full team fight, a team fight where they had an edge from forcing the map number 4. But unfortunately, it's going to be Fnatic taking it 3-0. Moving on, NRG, they show some great stuff. A great victory over Team Liquid earlier today, but that's where it ends.
So we get to see Hanamura, and maybe I think also a bit of an insight into why it's a map that's